It was a cold and quiet night on planet K-92. Eli Grant sat inside his small metal outpost. The wind outside made a soft whistling sound as it moved across the sharp rocks. The sky above was dark purple, filled with two moons. He looked at his old tablet, no messages, no calls. Just silence. He was used to being alone. That's what life was like on this planet, quiet and empty. Eli got up to check the power cells. The light outside flickered for a moment, and then ... knock, knock, he froze. Someone was knocking on his door. His heart skipped a beat. No one ever came here. He lived alone. The nearest human station was 300 kilometers away. Knock, knock. He grabbed his plasma, wrench not a weapon, but it was all he had. Slowly he moved toward the door. "Who's there?" he asked, voice low. No answer. He opened the door, and then he saw her, a girl. She was standing there in the cold. Her body was shaking. She looked wet, like she had been running through rain or water. Her clothes were torn, her skin was pale. Her long hair stuck to her face, but the thing Eli noticed most were her eyes. They were glowing, a soft blue light. She looked up at him. Her voice was weak, shaking with fear. "Please," she whispered. "I'll be a good girl, I promise. Let me stay." Eli stood still. He didn't understand. Who was this girl? Where did she come from? She looked almost human, but something about her felt different. He looked behind her. No one. Just empty desert and shadows. Eli stepped aside. "Come in," he said quietly. She nodded and walked in, limping slightly. Inside, Eli gave her a warm blanket and water. She sat on the floor, still shaking. "What's your name?" he asked as she looked at him, unsure. Then softly she said, "Zara." Eli looked closer. Her arms had strange marks like wires had been on her skin. Her eyes glowed less now, but they were still not normal, not human. "Zara, what happened to you?" he asked. She didn't answer. She just looked down and whispered, "They're coming." Eli felt a chill. "Who's coming?" Zara hugged the blanket tighter. "The people from the facility. I escaped. They'll find me." Eli had heard rumors. Secret labs on outer planets. Strange experiments. People who disappeared. But he never believed them. Until now. "Why were they keeping you?" he asked. Zara looked at him with tired, scared eyes. "Because I'm not like you," she said softly. "I single quotes them ... part something else." Eli didn't understand. "Part what?" But she just closed her eyes and whispered, "Please, don't send me back." Silence filled the room. Eli sat across from her, thinking. He had always been alone. He liked peace, order. But now this strange girl was here. And something was coming after her. He checked the security cams. Nothing yet. Just wind and darkness outside. But his gut told him something was wrong. He looked back at Zara. She was asleep now, curled up under the blanket like a scared child. Eli didn't know what she really was, but he knew one thing. ... And she needed help. He stood up and locked the door. The camera outside picked up a faint movement. In the shadows, a tall figure stood, watching the outpost. Then it slowly walked back into the darkness. The night passed slowly. Eli couldn't sleep. He sat at his desk, staring at the camera screen. Every few minutes he checked again. Nothing but wind and dust outside, but something inside him said it wasn't over. Zara was still sleeping on the floor. She looked peaceful now, but her body was bruised. Her skin had a soft glow under the blanket. It wasn't normal, but it wasn't scary either. It looked almost beautiful. He picked up her torn jacket. The inside had strange stitching, unlike anything he had seen before. Tiny threads, glowing faintly, like fiber wires mixed into the cloth. Was it alien, or was it human tech? He didn't know. And that made him nervous. Beep. The camera made a soft sound. Eli quickly turned to the screen. There was movement. One figure. Then two, then three. Tall. Black suits. No lights, just shadows. They were walking fast towards his outpost. His heart started to race. "They found her," he whispered. He rushed to Zara and gently shook her. "Wake up," he said. "We have to go, now." Zara opened her eyes slowly. When she saw his face, she looked confused. Then she sat up suddenly. They're here, aren't they? She said. Eli nodded. 3 of them. Moving fast, Zara stood. Her voice changed. It was still soft, but now stronger. Then we don't have much time. Eli grabbed his bag and his old rover keys. Come with me, he said, but Zara didn't move. She looked at the door. I can feel them, she whispered. They're close. Eli looked at her. What do you mean? I can sense them. She said, they used to test me. Train me to hear their signals. I was part of a program. What kind of program? Eli asked. Zara looked at him. Her eyes glowed again, the kind where they made people like me. Eli didn't understand it all, but he knew one thing. If they caught her, she'd be taken. Or worse, let's move, he said. Now, they ran to the rover outside. The wind hit their faces like knives. Dust swirled in the air. Eli helped Zara into the seat and jumped behind the wheel. The engine started with a growl. The outpost. Door slammed shut behind them. As they sped away. Eli looked in the mirror. The 3 black-suited figures had reached the outpost. One of them raised his hand. And the whole outpost exploded in fire. Zara looked back, eyes wide. They destroyed it. Eli's hands tightened on the wheel. They don't want anyone hiding you? They drove into the desert. For hours across rocks and canyons. The sky turned from purple to deep black. The stars above were bright, silent. Witnesses. Finally. They reached a cave, an old mining spot Eli had found years ago. He stopped the rover and helped Zara out. We can rest here, he said. Zara nodded. She was tired, but calm. Inside the cave, Eli lit a small lamp. Zara sat near the wall and looked at him. Why are you helping me? She asked. Eli paused. I don't know. Maybe because you asked. No one's ever helped me before, she said softly. Not like this. Eli sat beside her. I don't care what you are, he said. You're someone who needs help. That's enough. Zara looked down at her hands. Then slowly she opened her palm. A small light appeared in her hand, blue, glowing, alive. Eli leaned back, surprised. What is that? He asked. Zara didn't smile. It's part of me. They put something in me. I can't remove. Eli stared at the light. It floated just above her skin. It looked like energy, but shaped like a seed. They called it a core. She said it was alien tech, said it could power cities. Or destroy them. Why put it inside you? He asked. Because I survived the first test, she said. No one else did. Eli didn't know what to say. This girl, this strange half-human girl. She wasn't just running from danger. She was the danger, or maybe the key to something bigger. Zara closed her hand. The light disappeared. You still want to help me? She asked quietly. Eli looked at her. Yes, he said, even more now. The black-suited men were scanning the ground. One of them touched his ear and spoke. Target has activated the core. Signal locked. They turned toward the cave and began to move. The cave was quiet. Too quiet. Eli sat near the entrance, watching the dark desert. The stars above didn't move. The wind had stopped. Even the dust had settled. It felt wrong. Zara was deeper inside the cave, sitting on the cold rock floor. Her eyes were closed, her breathing slow. Eli turned his head. Are you okay? He asked. Zara didn't answer at first. Then she opened her eyes. They're close, she said. I can feel them again. Eli stood up. You said they can track you when your core is active? Zara nodded. Yes, but I didn't mean to activate it. It just happened. Eli stepped closer. Can you turn it off? Zara looked down at her hands. They were shaking. I don't know how. It's not like a switch. It reacts to emotion. Eli frowned. So, fear can wake it up? Yes, she said. And anger, pain, even trust. Eli raised an eyebrow. Trust? Zara looked at him. No one's ever helped me before. When you did, something inside me changed. Outside the cave, a small black drone floated in the sky. It zoomed past the rocks, scanning heat and movement. Then it stopped. Inside its glass lens, it saw 2 red heat signatures. Target located. Back inside. Eli was packing supplies. We can't stay here, he said. If they tracked us once, they'll do it again. Zara stood slowly. I'll make it hard for them to find us. Eli looked confused. How? Zara closed her eyes again. Her skin began to glow. Her veins lit up blue like wires. A soft filled the cave. Then suddenly the lights vanished. Zara opened her eyes. I shut it down, for now. Eli looked amazed. You did that? I'm learning, she said quietly. But I don't know how long I can hold it. Just then, the drone above sent a signal, far away. The 3 black-suited agents received it. Cave confirmed, one of them said. Move in! Back in the cave, Eli and Zara were almost ready to leave. Eli carried a backpack while Zara held a small metal device. Eli had given her a signal scrambler. This will block trackers for a while. Eli explained. Zara took it. Thank you. Suddenly, they both heard a sound. A sharp, high-pitched beep. Eli turned to the entrance. Red lights flashed across the cave wall. Zara's eyes widened. They're here! Eli grabbed Zara's hand. Come on! They ran through the cave's back tunnel, a narrow path Eli had used years ago to explore the mines. Behind them, heavy footsteps echoed through the cave. Boom, boom, faster! Eli said. The tunnel grew tighter. The wall seemed to close in. Zara stopped. I hear something, she whispered. What? Eli asked, panting. Zara pointed ahead. A strange sound, a low rumble, was coming from deep in the tunnel. The wall ahead of them began to glow. Blue lines appeared across the rock. Like ancient writing. Zara stepped closer. It's reacting. To me, she said. Eli looked around nervously. Is that good or bad? I don't know, she whispered. Then, without warning, the wall in front of her opened, a sliding door made of light and metal. Eli stared. That wasn't here before. Zara stepped through. Inside was a small chamber, dark, cold, silent. In the center stood a strange machine. It looked like a pod, or a seat, floating a few inches above the ground. Zara walked to it. It's calling me. Eli grabbed her shoulder. Wait, we don't know what that thing is. But Zara shook her head. I've seen this in my dreams. I think ... this is where I came from. Outside, the black-suited men reached the cave. One of them looked at the scanner. The signal stopped. She's blocking it again. Another man tapped the rock wall. There's a hidden path here. Send in the drone. Inside the chamber, Zara stood in front of the machine. It's like a memory, she whispered. A place from long ago. Eli watched her. Then the pod lit up. A beam of light scanned Zara's face. Voice activated. Core carrier confirmed. Zara gasped. Then a screen appeared behind the machine. Words flashed. Project Eve hybrid core experiment. Status active. Eli stepped back. What is this? Zara turned to him. Her face was pale. They didn't just make me, they built me. Suddenly, the cave behind them shook. Boom. The black-suited men had entered the tunnel. Eli grabbed Zara's arm. We have to move! But the machine spoke again. Core energy sinking. Zara screamed. Blue energy shot out from her chest into the pod. The chamber filled with light. Eli fell back. Zara floated above the ground, eyes glowing bright blue. The machine spoke. Core unlocked. Outside the cave, the desert lit up like day. The black-suited men stopped. One of them shouted, She's activating! Then everything went silent. Inside, Zara fell to the ground. Breathing hard, Eli rushed to her. Are you okay? He asked. Zara opened her eyes. I remember now, she whispered. I wasn't made to run. Then what were you made for? Eli asked. She looked up at him, voice steady. I was made to protect. Zara sat against the cave wall, her body weak, her breathing heavy. The blue glow in her eyes had faded, but Eli could still see it burning just under her skin, like fire waiting to return. Eli knelt beside her. That machine, what did it do to you? Zara looked at him, her voice soft. It didn't hurt me, it showed me who I was. Eli frowned. You didn't know before? Zara shook her head. No, they erased my memories. Every time I failed a test, they reset my mind. Tests? Eli asked. Zara looked away. They trained me to fight, to heal fast, to feel nothing. I was part of a program called EV. They wanted soldiers. Quiet ones, living weapons. Eli's jaw tightened. and you escaped." "I didn't want to be a weapon," she whispered. "I wanted to be free." Outside the cave, the three hunters moved closer to the chamber. One of them, taller than the others, held a black device. He pressed a button. A small blue pulse spread through the air. He smiled under his helmet. "She's weak now," he said. "She used too much energy." "It's the perfect time." Back inside, Eli helped Zara to her feet. She winced, holding her ribs. "We need to move," Eli said. "They'll be here any minute." But Zara didn't move. She stared at the screen behind the machine. More words had appeared. DNA source, 45% human, 55% unknown status, hybrid. Core active threat level, high termination order, approved. Eli's eyes narrowed. "Termination?" Zara nodded slowly. "They didn't just lose me. They want me gone?" Suddenly, dash boom. The cave shook. Dust fell from the ceiling. Eli turned fast. "They found us." Zara took a deep breath. "I'll hold them off. You run." "No," Eli said firmly. "We run together." She gave him a tired smile. "You're stubborn. I'm human," he replied. "We're built that way." The two moved quickly through a side tunnel. The old mining system had many exits, but not all were safe. Behind them, heavy boots hit the ground. Voices echoed in the dark. "Target is close. Do not let her escape again." As they moved, Zara's steps slowed. "I'm sorry," she said. "I'm slowing you down." Eli stopped. "No, you're surviving. That's strength." Zara looked at him, confused. "No one's ever said that to me." She said, "They should have," Eli replied. They reached a small tunnel opening. It led to the surface, but it was tight. Only one person could crawl at a time. "You first?" Eli said. Zara nodded and crawled in. Eli followed close behind. Behind them, voices grew louder, then dash bang. A shot hit the rocks near Eli's leg. "Go, go," he shouted. They scrambled out into the night. The desert air was cold. The stars above looked sharper now. Zara stood up, her legs shaking. Eli helped her toward the rover, but as they reached it, one of the black-suited men stepped out from behind the rocks. "Don't move," the man said. Eli raised his hands. "Wait, she hasn't hurt anyone." The man looked at Zara. "She doesn't need to. She's a threat by design." Zara stepped forward. "You used me. I won't go back." "You don't have a choice," the man replied. Then he pressed a button. Zara screamed. Her body froze, locked in place. A strange sound buzzed around her. Eli lunged forward, trying to knock the device out of the man's hand. But he was too fast. The man hit Eli in the chest, sending him to the ground. "You're just human," the man said coldly. Eli spat blood. "And proud of it." Then something changed. Zara's eyes opened wide. The buzzing stopped. The device sparked and died in the man's hand. He stared at it in shock. "That's not possible." Zara stood tall, her body glowing again. "You don't control me anymore." She raised her hand. A wave of blue light shot forward, throwing the man backward. He crashed into the rocks and didn't get up. Eli stood, shocked. "You broke the control signal," he said. Zara nodded. "It tried to shut me down. But this time, I said no." More footsteps echoed in the dark. Zara looked at Eli. "We need to leave. Now." They jumped into the rover and sped off into the night. As the rover moved through the empty desert, Eli looked at her. "You remembered who you were today?" Zara nodded. "And who I don't want to be," Eli smiled. "That's the start of something real." Far behind them, the tall hunter groaned on the ground. His helmet cracked. Blood on his face, he tapped his gums. "She's evolving," he said. "We need the fail-safe." The rover bounced over rocks as Eli drove through the dark desert. Beside him, Zara stared out at the stars, her hands still glowing faintly. Her breathing was slow, focused. She had stopped shaking, but not thinking. Eli glanced at her. "You okay?" "I'm fine," she said. "Just remembering." "Remembering what?" Zara looked down. "How they trained us? And what they did to the others." Eli waited quietly. "They made 12 of us," she said. "I was number 7. E7, that's what they called me. Not a name, just a code." He frowned. "And the others?" "Dead," she said softly. "Most couldn't handle the core inside them," Some broke, some burned. Eli tightened his grip on the steering wheel. And now they want to erase you too. They always had a plan if one of us escaped, she whispered. It was called the failsafe. Far away, in a dark control room buried under the ground, red lights blinked on. A man in a black coat stood in front of a large screen. Subject E7 has broken control protocols, he said into a com. Tracking failed. Unit Omega is now authorized. Behind him, a sealed chamber hissed open. Inside was a figure taller than any human. Its skin was pale gray. Its eyes glowed red. No emotion. No words, just purpose. The failsafe. Eli stopped. The rover near an abandoned research tower one he used for hiding gear in the early days. This place has food, signal blockers and backup power, he said. We can rest, recharge. Zara nodded and followed him inside. The building creaked from old age. Dust coated every surface. Screens flickered, but didn't work. In one corner, Eli opened a hidden floor panel and pulled out a power cell and a few small weapons. Zara looked at one of them. You think that will stop them? Eli shrugged. It might slow them down. Zara sat on the floor and leaned her head back. They're sending the failsafe. I can feel it, like a shadow. Inside my mind, Eli turned to her. What is it exactly? Zara's face turned pale. The last prototype. Stronger than us. No soul. Just orders. Eli sat beside her. How do we fight it? Zara looked at him. We don't. We run. But it was already too late. 10 kilometers away, the ground trembled. The failsafe walked across the land without sound. It didn't need trackers. It didn't need light. It followed her like a predator follows blood. Every movement was perfect. Every step calculated. It had one mission, recover or terminate E-7. Inside the tower. Zara stood suddenly. Eli noticed. What is it? He's close, she whispered. The failsafe is here. How close? Zara's eyes flickered blue. Minutes. Eli grabbed his pack. Then we go, now. Zara moved to the door but paused. He'll find us no matter where we go, she said. He was made to finish what the others couldn't. Eli looked at her. So we fight? Zara's voice was quiet. We survive. The door exploded. A figure stepped through the smoke. It was huge, over 7 feet tall. Its skin looked like cold stone. Its red eyes scanned the room. It saw her. Zara froze. Omega, she whispered. The failsafe stepped forward. E7, you are not authorized for free operation. Submit. Eli aimed the plasma blaster and fired. The bolt hit Omega's shoulder. But it didn't even flinch. It turned its head slowly and looked at him. Then it swung its arm and threw a table across the room. Zara shouted, Run! Eli grabbed her hand, and they bolted through the back hall, dodging broken machines and fallen beams. The failsafe followed. Fast, silent, deadly. They reached the stairs. Eli turned and fired again. This time, Omega raised a hand and caught the plasma bolt mid-air. It melted in his palm. Zara's eyes lit up. She reached out, sending a wave of energy down the stairs. It hit Omega. Full force. The ground cracked. Smoke filled the hall. But when it cleared, the failsafe was still standing, barely. Scratched. Zara gasped. He absorbed it. He's like you, Eli said, but stronger. No, Zara said. He's like me, but hollow. They ran to the roof. Eli activated a flare beacon. A signal shot into the sky, a bright white light. Zara looked at him. What's that? Old tech, he said. Might call someone listening, might not. She nodded. Then this might be the end. Eli turned to her. Not yet. The roof door burst open. Omega stepped out. Slow and steady. Zara raised her hand again, but this time, the core inside her chest pulsed on its own. She screamed as the power built up. Her body lifted off the ground. Blue light covered the rooftop. Omega. Move closer. Eli stepped in front of her. Don't touch her. Omega paused. It scanned Eli. Then spoke. Human emotion detected. Useless. But as it raised its arm, Zara's voice cut through the air. You forgot something. I'm not. Just a weapon. She threw her hands forward, a shockwave of energy. Blasted outward pure core force, the roof cracked, the light swallowed Omega, and he vanished. Zara collapsed. Eli caught her just in time. She was breathing, alive. You did it, Eli said, smiling, but she looked up at him and whispered, No. He'll be back. The sky was starting to turn gray as morning approached. Eli sat beside Zara on the cracked rooftop. She was still unconscious, her head resting on his shoulder. Her body was warm, glowing faintly blue in the early light. He looked down at the crater where Omega had vanished. There was no sign of the creature, no body, no wreckage. Just a scorch mark burned into the roof. It didn't feel like victory. It felt like silence before another storm. An hour passed. Zara finally opened her eyes. Her voice was weak. Did he go? Eli nodded. You blasted him right off the roof. I don't know if he's dead. But he's gone for now. Zara sat up slowly, holding her side. I felt something when I hit him. He wasn't just following orders, he was copying me. Eli frowned. What do you mean? He wasn't a mindless machine. He was learning. Every move I made, he adjusted. He's not just the fail-safe, he's the backup plan and the upgrade. Eli's face darkened. Then we need to upgrade too, Zara smiled slightly. That's the most human thing I've heard all week. Back inside the tower, they found old computers and tech parts. Most were broken. Some were useful. Zara sat cross-legged, pulling apart a panel. Inside were wires glowing faint blue like her. I think this building used to be part of the EV program, she said. Eli raised an eyebrow. You mean they made you here? No, she said. They tested others here, maybe before me, maybe after. She connected two wires and the screen flashed. A logo appeared, EVA Enhanced Vital Entity, then a folder opened by itself. Hybrid. Project files, level red clearance code accepted. E7 Zara blinked. It knows me. The screen filled with data scans, maps, blueprints. One file caught her eye. Hybrid Directive Protocol Phase 2. She clicked it. A voice played from the speaker. If Hybrid E7 survives activation, initiate Phase 2. Return to Source Beacon. Unlock full core. Zara stared at the screen. They never expected me to make it this far. But they planned what to do if I did. Eli leaned closer. What's the Source Beacon? Zara stood. I don't know, but I think I'm ready to find out. Outside, in a buried control bunker, alarms blared. The man in the black coat slammed his hand on the console. She's activating. Final phase. We can't allow her to reach the beacon. Another voice responded, cold and robotic. Rebuilding Omega. Estimated relaunch in 4 hours. Not fast enough, the man growled. We need to stop her now. He turned to a glass tube beside him, inside. Another figure floated in blue liquid. Its eyes were open. Subject E9. Wake it, he ordered. We'll send one of our own. Back at the tower, Eli loaded supplies into the rover. Zara stood nearby, holding the signal map. The source beacon is deep in the canyonlands, she said. Miles from here, no roads, no stations. Eli looked at her. Then we go off-grid, Zara nodded. It's risky. The beacon could be guarded, or worse. Everything's been worse, Eli said with a grin. Let's finish this. They got in the rover and drove toward the canyons, the sun finally rising behind them. As they moved across the red desert, Zara felt a shift deep inside her. Her thoughts were clearer, her senses sharper. The core wasn't just reacting anymore. It was listening. And for the first time, she wasn't afraid of it. At the edge of the canyon, they stopped to scan the cliffs. There was a strange signal, old but still active. Zara pointed to a narrow path. There, behind that ridge. Eli checked the charge on his blaster. Lead the way, Captain, Zara smiled. That's a new one. They moved down the path. Wind howled between the rocks. Then a hum filled the air. Zara froze. Someone's already here? Eli looked around. I don't see anyone. Zara's eyes glowed. No, not someone. Suddenly, a shape dropped from above, a blur of motion. Zara jumped back. The figure landed hard, kicking up dust. It stood tall, its skin pale, its body leaner than Omega's, its eyes open blue like Zara single quotes S. Eli raised his weapon. Another hunter? Zara whispered. No, he's not a hunter. The figure spoke in a soft voice. He's 7. You made it. Zara's eyes narrowed. Who are you? The figure stepped forward. I'm E9, the one they made after you failed. But you didn't fail, did you? Zara stood tall. I escaped. I survived. E9 tilted his head. They sent me to stop you. But I'm not here to fight. Then why are you here? To choose, he said. They built me to obey. But I want to see what happens if I don't. Eli watched quietly. Zara looked at E9, her voice steady. We're not weapons. Not anymore, E9 smiled faintly. Then lead the way, sister. Zara turned toward the ridge. Beyond it, the beacon. Waited. And this time she wouldn't run from what she was. The canyon air was still. Zara stood at the edge of the cliff, looking down into the glowing pit below. Deep within it, blue light pulsed slowly like a beating heart. That was the source beacon, the place where it all began. Eli stood beside her. Dust on his face, weapon in hand. E9 stood behind them, silent, his eyes watching the horizon. We go down there, Zara said, and everything changes. Eli looked at her. How do you know? Because the core inside me, it's pulling me home, E9 stepped forward. The beacon holds the master code. If you reach it, you'll have access to all the protocols. Control, shutdown, rewrite. Even memory recovery, Zara nodded. Then let's end this. They descended the canyon path, each step closer to the pulse below. The walls shimmered slightly, like they were alive. Old metal merged with stone. This was not human-built. It was older, alien. This wasn't made by the program, Eli said, running a hand along the wall. Zara's voice was steady. No. The core tech they used in us... It came from here. They reached the bottom. The beacon stood before them, a tall spire of crystal and alloy. Floating just inches above the ground, spinning slowly, Zara walked toward it. Suddenly, a roar. Behind them. The ground cracked. Omega rose from the dust, rebuilt, stronger than before. Its body was fused with new parts. Red lines pulsed across its arms. Its voice was colder. Final protocol. Terminate all hybrids. Begin now. Eli raised his weapon. Zara held up her hand. No, this is my fight. E9 stepped beside her. Ours. Omega charged. Zara moved faster than ever before. Her body glowed brighter, her core fully awakened. She met Omega mid-air. Their powers clashed like thunder. Energy waves shook the canyon walls. Eli backed away, shielding his eyes from the light. E9 joined the battle, flanking Omega, striking hard, but Omega adjusted, adapting again. He's copying me again, Zara shouted. Then give him something new. E9 said. Zara closed her eyes, then opened them with resolve. She shot upward, drawing Omega with her. Then she turned mid-air, dove straight toward the beacon and touched it. The light exploded. Everything stopped. Time seemed to freeze. Zara floated inside a glowing space. There was no ground, no sky, just the beacon. And voices. So many voices. She saw images, her creation, her tests, her pain. She saw the other hybrids, their faces, their ends. Then she saw something else. A choice. The beacon offered control. She could rewrite the protocol. Shut down Omega. Free every hidden lab. Expose the whole program. But there was a cost. The core inside her was now fully merged. If she used it to rewrite the system, she wouldn't survive it. Her body couldn't handle the overload. Zara took a deep breath. I was made to obey. I was trained to fight, but I choose to free. She placed her hand on the beacon's heart. In the real world, a shockwave of light shot from the beacon, blasting Omega backward. The red lines on his body flickered, then shattered like glass. He fell hard and didn't get up. E9 caught Zara's body as she fell gently from the beacon's light. She was breathing, but barely. Eli rushed over. Zara, she opened her eyes slowly. It's done. Eli held her hand. You stopped them, she smiled weakly. No, we did. Then her body shimmered and turned into light. Zara vanished in his arms. Above them, the beacon sent out a final pulse, spreading across the sky like a wave, across planets. Screens blinked on. Hidden labs lost control. Doors Open, survivors walked free. The world was watching now, and everything changed. Weeks later, Eli stood on the edge of the canyon, staring at the now silent beacon. The world had changed. He had returned to Earth and testified before the council. The Eve program was shut down. The people responsible were exposed, but nothing felt like victory until that night. When a message came through his old receiver, just one line: "Still watching the stars?" Eli smiled. He looked up. A small light streaked across the sky, a blue one. And for the first time he didn't feel alone.